That's a helpful variety. So whilst you see the US at 90 and China at 82 and Japan at 300, you start to wonder, like, how long can you hold kicking this May down the street? And while the can stops rolling, what's the solution? Now, this video talks briefly approximately what we are discussing, so I need to play it. This is Verson from Black Swan, Capitalist Speaking, approximately worldwide debt. And perhaps the solution could be something like XRP. When we talk about the rate of XRP, we must examine the debt, and principal banks have an incentive to dissolve that debt right now. And they located a solution, which is blockchain. They definitely are going to, for my part, primarily based at the studies. And additionally, I can verify this, that the International Monetary Fund has already agreed on a price before this integration began to appear. So this became a few years in the past. They agreed upon a rate, and I got loads of data from Linda P. Jones has a chum who worked on the Central Bank of Australia, and he said that they agreed upon a rate, and it's inside the hundreds. Now, while we again talk about the XRP rate, we have to study the global debt, the inducement for valuable banks to dissolve global debt, in fact, also to make use of this liquidity, supply of liquidity from XRP to facilitate transparency. Moving into the digital economic system, that is what they're going to be the usage of. XRP is a monetary instrument to serve the worldwide economy. Let me inform you this, crucial banks and the IMF are not going to use a modern Forex. They're now not going to use something like Bitcoin. They're no longer going to use Ethereum. They're going to need a bridge asset that can go among one-of-a-kind currencies proper, something that has a solid coin element, right? Something that imperative banks are currently operating with the generation, piloting the era, certainly bringing the era from a pilot phase right into a wholesale and a retail CBDC proper. This is already happening around the arena. Let's communicate about this in reality quickly. So Brad Garlinghouse does tease the phrase reset right here. I accept as true what he's speaking about, just a reset as a long way as perhaps who's in price. But allow me move in advance and play this. I know some humans have been going loopy approximately this. Let me play. No rely what occurs on this next election. We are able to have a reset. We can debate the importance of that reset. And there is masses of confrontation about that. Obviously, Trump got here out early and very aggressively in a seasoned crypto and said he's the crypto president. Kamala and crew, Team Harris, have been extra nuanced this week. I assume it turned into this week. They had a number of the maximum positive things they have got said publicly. But look, I do think Kamala Harris is from Silicon Valley. I suppose she has commonly been seasoned generation through the years. She has been highly quiet on the topic. However, I assume, irrespective of what takes place, we are going to see a reset. We're going to look ahead development. And I seem to be searching ahead to that. So you're wearing a purple tie so that you're no longer here to make any endorsements. I did advocate John Deaton yesterday. I suggest I'd already given cash to him. So however, look, Elizabeth Warren, I assume, has been the maximum unfavorable in the direction of this. I imply she has an internet page on her marketing campaign that announces I'm building a crypto and anti-crypto military. It's like, okay, I'm towards the era. I made the funny story before. Like, why? Why might somebody be towards the generation? It's like saying I'm towards electronic mail, however you're for email, all proper. Regardless, John Deaton is going for walks in Massachusetts to be a senator there. He is going in opposition to Elizabeth Warren. Personally, if I become in Massachusetts, I would be voting for John Deaton. I suppose that he's very formative. I like him on his crypto stance. And I really like him what he talks about, his policy, right? Let's get into this. There's a brand new advert that Ripple has positioned out. Finance has always been sluggish to conform, but real development is occurring all around you. Like money that movements as speedy as global markets, that in no way close in efficiency that movements finance at the speed of business nowadays. So ahead wondering establishments, monetary establishments and governments can pass forward quicker. It's occurring now and it's prepared for individuals who are ready to make change. So are you at the right side of progress? Oh man, I adore it. I find it irresistible, all proper. I do. I played this in every other video that I placed out, but I assume it is very critical that we communicate about this. This is a 58 2D clip. This is sincerely I like a verbal exchange, either that takes location in Japan or this girl is from Japan. Japan's banks are preparing to undertake XRP for seamless transactions. She honestly tells you how many banks which can be operating in this consortium the use of Ripple. Let me play this. Actually, Japan is a totally very cash-orientated society. Surprisingly, yeah, humans assume we're kind of advanced, but I essentially, by way of the way, I come from Japan. However, the proportion of virtual bills of all the transactions, without a doubt, only 19%. So it is honestly type of countrywide timetable to growth digital payments, and the government endorsed banks to innovate so that you can increase the digital bills ratio. So now what we are doing in Japan is we created a consortium of greater than 50 banks to return together to expand a completely new bills platform or infrastructure powered through Rippo's distributed amusement technology, which essentially replaced the present home payment system known as the Zenki gadget, and also can be carried out for move border payments as well. All proper. Don't want to listen to the guy's 2 cents on the cease. He talks approximately himself. I desire to recognize some people might be wondering, maybe around 50 banks. Is that a high quantity in Japan? So I went to perplexity. So you realize this is right some years ago, while banks had been figuring out to improve technology and do all these items, this is really the kind of choices that they had proper. Bitcoin, very slow. Ethereum, very gradual. Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, XRP turned into truly the simplest solution for the beyond few many years in a chunk that surely spoke to banks and financial institutions. Also, I idea this became in reality, cool 15.2D clip. Breaking news from Uphold CEO Nancy Beaton. You should take RLUSD to gold and different belongings. Check this out. Certain pairs, you can take RLUSD to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to RLUSD. You ought to take RLUSD to gold. So on our platform, you could actually exchange anything to anything. So it makes it really clean for the consumer to get in and out of what they need. Yeah, it truly is. That is pretty cool. I adore it. Let's try this. We'll speak about that toward the quit here. This turned into a brand new, so our room launches 1 billion tokenized fund for data facilities, investments on XRP ledger with area, XRP. I cannot say it right. The automobile will recognition on statistics facilities investments throughout the USA, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, India and Europe, claiming to be the world's first mixed equity and debt tokenized fund. This is hot off the clicking only some days ago. Non-public fairness organization Aram Equity Partners said Tuesday it is launching a $1 billion tokenized equity and debt fund at the XRP Ledger Network, an employer-focused blockchain intently related to Ripple. The fund makes a speciality of investments in information facilities throughout the USA. We type of read the international locations are declared to be the world's first blended fairness debt tokenized fund in line with the press launch. So there you've got it, women and gents. There's additionally this clip about being the primary mover and the first mover advantage. Let me play. So 2002 is a Pega. I never heard all of us else named Pega, but she's got a dope name, head of payments and products at Ripple. Let me play it. A international trendy for monetary records change. This permits interoperability among one-of-a-kind systems directly through processing of payments and rich statistics switch. And it'll also foster competition because it's open and flexible. At Ripple, we've been aligned with ISO 20022 from day one. So we've always identified that is the course of bills and it'll be higher for all and sundry. We were really a primary mover on that front. We've also joined the same old frame to help contribute to how bills will form inside the future. So it's a massive deal, like you are assisting to reshape what policy stands for. Manner, you realize that's one of the things that I'm so bullish on Ripple, the agency, right? Because they were there, the ISO frame, they had been running with the federal government. They work with the BIS task pressure. These are the human beings in electricity, right? And when you have Ripple intently running with them, they recognize who they may be. They understand their era. They're on first call basis with these human beings proper. That's a large deal. If you're only a you already know, ordinary blockchain employer that makes banking software program, and you don't have those connections, do you know how hard it is to get into conferences at principal banks proper?